guys, it is bring your baddie friend to Glute.
The sole purpose of this workout is for your friend to push you to weights that you normally don't do on your own. So this means you and your baddie friend are training until failure and doing heavier weight, period. Because like I always say, heavy weight bakes the cake. So I'm working out today with my baddie friend, Kimbo Spice.
And I just had to show you guys this gym because I was absolutely floored. This gym was literally giving like Texas gyms.
It was my first time here and I wish I recorded more, but it was like literally the best gym I have ever been to. Anyways, baddies, let's get that fatty. And since we're just that girl,
stretch,
then get straight into 1 mile. And the reason why I like doing this is because one, not only does it prepare me for the heavy load that I'm about to do, but it also gets every single muscle on my body nice and warm so that I'm ready to lift heavy. Not only that, running has sculpted me so beautifully. I am absolutely in love with the results. So I ran on 7 speed the whole time without stopping. Then Kim introduced me to a machine I've never used before. It is called the Glute Blaster. So I had her demonstrate for me because girl, I did not know what I was doing. So here I am just showing you Kim's attempt. And by the way, we did this for 4 sets of 12. For her first set, she did 40 pounds. As you guys can see, she's doing a slight pause at the top and going all the way down to the bottom while keeping the tension the entire time. And can we commend Kim on her control? The way that she was controlling that negative was absolutely beautiful. Another thing I want to go over is your feet placement. She wanted to put her feet at the end of the machine because that's where she felt the most tension in her glutes. And this workout was giving because look at her at the end of this. And then there was my attempt. I started at 40 pounds as well. And I was actually quite surprised as to how hard this was. I was in my head thinking about Kim and her gorgeous form. She was pushing me and I tried to do the same form that she did. I know you guys cannot see, but she was definitely yelling at me. So even though wholeheartedly, I low-key, high-key wanted to stop, but she kept me going. And prime example of that was right here where I literally was just like, oh my God, this burns, and she was yelling at me to keep going. This is why it's so encouraging to have a friend in the gym, and especially having a friend like Kim. Love you, Kim.
Now here's my absolutely top tier attempt on my other leg.
Kindly ignore my dirty socks. I don't care what anyone has to tell me. I don't run with my shoes on. I run with my socks. It's just way more comfortable for me. It hurts to run with shoes. So I will forever be running in my socks. Period. Hold on, baddies. I totally forgot to tell you something. One thing that I discovered with this machine is actually not to go all the way down. For me, I love when I feel my glutes working the entire time, and that is not felt when you go all the way down on this machine. It actually works out your quads when you go all the way down. So make sure you're keeping the tension the entire time. Do not play with me. So let me break it down scientifically.
Working out your glutes in a stretch position equals more activation, which can equate to more growth.
Next up, we did banded hip thrusts for 4 sets of 12, plus a 10-second hold at the very end of the last set. Not too bad, right? So, babes, you already know what the deal is. Babies, if you're not doing a pelvic tilt with your hip thrust, what are you doing? I'm here just showing you again what that looks like. It simply means rotating your hips under, kind of like you're in a thrusted position the whole time. Now, if you have a band, please, I am on my knees. I am begging you to please use it. And if you do use it, put it above your knee. It forces your glutes to be active the entire time. So here's a scientific breakdown.
The band is creating external resistance, which means your muscles have to work harder to stabilize and lift against the resistance. This increased tension particularly targets the gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius.
Thank you, scientific baddie. I would love if you guys could give her a name. Thanks to her, we will always be educated.
Period.
Oh, also forgot to mention, if you do not have this machine in your gym, just find a way to create a hip thrust. There's literally so many variations of the hip thrust, no excuses. Now, this is my friend Kim's attempt, and this is her first time trying it with the band. And I'm also going to use her to show you guys what your form should look like. So your feet are going to be slightly turned out, and it's going to be 1 full rep, followed by the cast glute bridge. Cast glute bridge just simply means a half rep, which means that you're stopping while your glutes are the most active or in its most stretched position, and then you're going back up. So allow me to demonstrate vocally. So here you go. It's going to be full rep squeeze, half rep squeeze, full rep squeeze, half rep squeeze. It's not too bad. And as you can see by the look on Kim's face, things were getting serious. Like the last 5 to 6 reps always feel the absolute worst. You have to fight for it. You have to do it. Do not sit up on the hip thrust machine and embarrass me. Do all 12 reps. Do not embarrass me. The pain that you feel will be equivalent to how you felt after your Jamaican mother finished beating you. Senseless. Okay, girls, moving on. We got reverse RDLs. Believe it or not, this is the exact same form as an RDL to me. You're hinging your hips back, and as soon as you feel the pony tension in your glutes, go back up. Okay, so now here's the breakdown for my beginner girlies, because I do understand that this is a little bit of a crazy looking machine and it looks really scary, but I promise you it's not. So step 1, step on the machine. Step 2, get into the machine and adjust yourself accordingly. So I placed my forehead on like the top of the pad inside of the machine, and I make sure that my shoulders and head are aligned accordingly. After that, put those feet shoulder width apart, turn them out like a ballerina, and begin. Not so bad, isn't it? As you begin your descent, think about reaching that booty back. Like you're about to sit on something, but the seat is kind of far away. By the way, this is so important. Please do not lock your legs. You have to keep the tension the entire time. If you stretch out your legs, 1, that's terrible practice because you can injure yourself in the future when you start adding heavier weight. And 3, the baddies have proper form, always point blank period, because I taught you. Don't embarrass me. Thank you. As this machine was kind of heavy, I warmed up with no weight. Then I added a 45. And then for my second set, I added a 45 and a 25. The weight was actually pretty light, but as I was lowering myself, I could definitely feel it way more. I was like, never mind. Actually, this weight is pretty good. And here comes my baddie friend, Kimbo Spice. And she was just making sure that my form was correct. And you're going to see her touch me. What it does for me, it's so crazy. It literally makes me focus on that muscle that I'm trying to grow. And then there she was just pushing me and adding just a little bit of count so that I had a good tempo going down and going back up. 3, 2, 1 down and 3, 2, 1 up. My lower back was so happy to be finished with that. Being in the gym for so long, I realized that machines are going to bring pain to some degree. I have scoliosis, so it's an expected factor for me. To combat my pain, sometimes I'll take longer breaks, and I'll take a couple seconds to just decompress my back. And it always helps me get back in the game. Now I'm just showing you Kim's attempt, and I'm just showing you a small tweak that she did with her form. Since she is significantly taller than me, her range of motion and her point of tension is different than mine. So for her, a deeper RDL enabled her to feel it more in her glutes. And this was the attempt with a 45 and a 25, which of course my baddie friend absolutely ate that up. And let's look at her feet. Nice, turned out, shoulder width apart, just the way we like it. Okay, and moving on. This is the last one, best one workout, Bulgarian split squats. I stole this from Kyle Fitness because it's absolutely amazing. So shout out to my love for that one. You're going to be doing 10 with both dumbbells, then drop 1 dumbbell, do 10 more, then drop the other dumbbell, and do 8 more. So it's basically like a drop set, and it burns, and it's a great finisher. I'm so disappointed in myself for only doing a 25, but I've gotten a lot stronger in this, and now I'm able to do 40 pounds. The more weight you could do, the better your results will be, and I encourage you to go heavy on this. Now we got the weight out the way. So how do you feel this exercise in your glutes and not in your quads? For me, placing my feet to where it reaches a 90-degree angle and also leaning forward as much as possible enables me to not feel it in my glutes. My highest recommendation, if you're still struggling, is to do this exercise without any weight. Discover your own micro adjustments to help feel this in your glutes. Another tip is to lift your toes on your working foot, so in this case, it would be my left foot. I love Bulgarians real bad, and it is an absolute killer. One of my favorite Bulgarian hacks is if you don't have that little Bulgarian isolation thing, you can use the little pad that's on the hamstring curls or on the leg extensions. Find one that has it and adjust it to where it's comfortable. That's it, baddies. Do not stress out, you guys. I'm coming out with a video with all the new Gym Girly samples, and I want you guys to choose which ones I should release because I want the girls to choose. And special thanks to my wonderful, gorgeous, talented, beautiful baddie friend, Kimbo Spice. She hosts workout classes. She is a dancer. Please go follow her on Instagram. Book her. Check her out. She's also a model. Love you so much, Kim. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you here next time on Celestri Fit. Mwah.